Today's episode is sponsored by the Epic Wealth Experience, a live event that presents a revolutionary philosophy for understanding the building of wealth through real estate. You know how some people want to get involved in real estate investing, but they don't have the time. They've already got a full-time job, they've got family obligations, and or they're running their own business already. And you know how some people want to get involved in real estate investing, but they don't have the know-how. They don't know where to begin. They don't know what market to invest in. They don't know what type of properties to invest in. And you know how some people want to get involved in real estate investing, but they don't have the money. I mean, they're already living paycheck to paycheck. They think they're maxed out on their credit. Their monthly overhead is just so high, there's nothing left at the end of the month. And what all that really comes down to is fear. When any of these conditions are present for someone, fear sets in and it stops them dead in their tracks, and they do nothing. And tomorrow is the same as it was today. At the Epic Wealth Experience, there's a system in place that helps people get involved in cash flowing investment properties from all across the country. And there's also a system in place where an expert will hold you by the hand and walk you through the process from beginning to end. And there's also a system in place that can arrange for people cash flowing investments of zero to no money down. And what these systems do is give people the confidence and the ability to move forward and create multiple streams of income so that they can escape the rat race once and for all, living a life of options. I mean, imagine waking up each and every morning getting out of bed because you want to, as opposed to you having to. That's the type of life the Epic Wealth Experience can create for the busiest of people. Go to epicwealthexperience.com for more information and to reserve your seat for the next event. epicwealthexperience.com. Go to epicwealthexperience.com.
This is Theriault Media.
You don't have a money problem, you have an idea problem. This is Turnkey Real Estate Investing, the show for busy people who want to invest in real estate but don't have the time or desire to take on the heavy lifting. And here's your cash flow savvy host, Matt Theriault.
Hello, and welcome. Welcome to Turnkey Real Estate Investing. Real estate investing for busy people, just like you. Now, if this is your first time here, glad you made it, glad you found us. Make yourself at home. And if this is not your first time here, welcome back. Alrighty, got a good show for you today. Some current events. This comes from I'm going to read loosely to you an article found on cnbc.com titled Massive Shortage of Appraisers Causing Home Sales Delays, written by Diana Olick. And it's becoming a little bit more of an issue in our business as well, but it's nothing to be fearful of, nothing to be, nothing to cause great concern, just to set your expectations appropriately so that you can avoid this disruption, knowing that this might possibly come your way. It might be headed down, you might be headed on a collision course right for this issue of a shortage of appraisers. Now, how can a shortage of appraisers, interrupt your turnkey investing? Well, I'm going to read this article and then I'll discuss it just a little bit more after we're done with it. It says, housing demand is rising rapidly, but a key cog in the wheel to home ownership is in deep trouble. The people most needed to close the deal are disappearing. Appraisers, the men and women who value homes and whom mortgage lenders depend on, are shrinking in numbers. That is causing growing delays in closings, costing buyers and sellers money, and in some cases, even their deals. Now, the share of on-time closings has dropped from 77% last April to 64% today. So that's just 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5-6 months, we've dropped from 77% to 64% for loans backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, according to Campbell Inside Mortgage Finance. Appraisal-related issues in these delays jumped by 50% in that time. So it's not only causing delays, it's causing challenges that the buyers and the sellers and the lenders, and they all got to overcome to get the deal closed. Let's see. The appraisal shortage is massive. You're seeing significant delays. You're seeing cost increases. You're seeing rate locks expire, said Brian Koester, CEO of Rockville, Maryland-based Koester VMS, a national appraisal management company. Since 2007, when the U.S. housing market came crashing down, the number of appraisers has shrunk by 22%, according to the Appraisal Institute and Industry Association. With so few new cadets, the current population of appraisers is aging. More than 60% are over the age of 50. Ironically, the decline in new appraisers is largely due to new regulations designed to safeguard both banks and borrowers. They were put in place at the end of 2008 by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the FHA, as the entire mortgage banking community was under strict scrutiny after the financial crisis. Understandably, right? So they changed the rules that would allow appraiser apprentices to do full appraisals and instead require the licensed appraiser to be on site for the inspection. That's the key issue there. Let me see. I'll read that again. They changed the rules that would allow appraiser apprentices to do full appraisals, and instead it requires now the licensed appraiser to be on site with that apprentice for that inspection. So the result is that appraisers no longer see a need to pay apprentices, but at the same time, licensing requirements to become an appraiser include 2,500 hours of appraisal experience to be completed in 2 years as an apprentice. So the typical appraiser, he's going to do approximately 10 to 15 appraisals a week. For him or her to be able to take a trainee, he needs the ability for the trainee to go ahead and inspect the property for him, said Koester. The rules have changed now, and you cannot do what you used to be able to do 10 years ago, which is hire 3 to 4 trainees and really have them go out and inspect the properties, go and do the work for you, and really function as an apprentice. That market has completely been eliminated. So at 1 p.m. on a Monday in Frederick, Maryland, appraiser Joyce Smith has already valued 3 homes and is walking into the 4th. A 23-year veteran of the business, she said she has never been this busy. She says, I get calls 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day. I used to go far away to do appraisals, but now there are so many, I don't have to go very far anymore, she said. In some of the nation's hottest housing markets, where sales are up double digits compared to a year ago, the shortage means searching far and wide for an appraiser. It also means searching far and wide for a property that will help that property appraise. I'll talk about that in just a sec. We've been hearing from our agents in Colorado about significant delays in getting appraisals done, said Alina Tazinski, a spokesperson for Redfin. Our Denver market manager said for one deal, the appraiser came in from Cheyenne, Wyoming. She reported in taking up to 7 weeks to get an appraisal done. Valuations aren't the concern as much as the delays. I beg to differ, but okay. I guess it depends on which part of the country you're in. I will talk about that in just a sec. Valuations are, however, becoming increasingly important as home price gains accelerate and competition in the market heats up. Prices could change in the course of 2 months. The delay time it is now taking in some markets to have an appraisal done. Mortgage rates are also starting to move in a wider range, and that makes rate locks ever more important. It can cost significant cash to extend a rate lock. So changes in the appraisal system are being considered, but there is currently no short-term fix. When they removed the trainee to be able to inspect the property, I don't think they understood the trickle-down effect it would have on the entire mortgage market, nor did they understand how trainees were used by the appraisers within the mortgage market, said Koester. All right, so that's the article. And basically, there's just a shortage of appraisers, so expect your appraisals to take much longer. But there's things that happen during an appreciating market, and those appraisals are happening. So, in an appreciating market like the one we're in now, an additional thing here to consider is the process is going to slow down because although buyers are educated on the market appreciation, they know what they're getting into. They're willing to pay the listing price for a property, but the appraiser can't find comparables to bring in the evaluation. You see that? They can't find the comparables to bring in the valuation. They're having trouble doing that because they have to wait for new sold properties to happen. And typically, it'll have to come from an all-cash sale, the type of sale that doesn't need an appraisal to complete the transaction. And while buyers wait, they're losing their financing rates. They're losing their terms. And sellers are getting impatient, and they don't want to wait for the appraisal to come in. And then they end up canceling contracts, and they're selling to buyers that don't need an appraisal to close. So, 2 things, the shortage of appraisers, the market's really hot, it's appreciating, and so that means a shortage of comparables. The comparables can't keep up with the market. So what is there to do for turnkey investors that are awaiting appraisals? Well, there's really just 2 options. You can come in as a turnkey investor, you can come in with the difference to close. So if your property you purchased was $100,000 and the appraisal, the best appraisal they could find was $90,000, there's a $10,000 gap there. So if you want to still purchase that deal, like most investors do, because they understand that they want to get in, they'll have to come in with that $10,000 and then borrow the $90,000. So that's one option, come in with the difference. Second thing is to close the deal with funds that don't require an appraisal. and then refinance out in 6 months. So if you got some cash and you want to go ahead and grab that deal, grab it, and then 6 months later, you can consider a cash out refi. Or you want to borrow from, you want to liquidate some stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and purchase that way. Or if you want to borrow from your retirement plan, like your IRA or your self-directed type plan. Okay, so it's nothing new. It's just one of the characteristics of an appreciating market. It's not good, not bad. It's just what's so. I've seen it come and go. And Mercedes and Melissa and Courtney over at Cashflow Savvy, they are implementing new systems in their transactions, new steps in their transactions to get ahead of this appraisal issue before it interferes with the client's sales. They're really coming up with some really cool stuff and some good processes, and they're getting out ahead of this thing and helping our clients with it. So if you'd like to speak with Courtney to hear about how she and her team are saving time and acquiring strong cash flow properties that are also appreciating now in some of this country's hottest passive income markets, you can grab a spot in her calendar and you can get a free passive income audit. So you can go to passiveincomeaudit.com, passiveincomeaudit.com, and it's designed specifically to help people that are frustrated with the whole process, specifically frustrated about pursuing passive income and finding out that it's not so passive. So that's why Courtney is there to help you through those frustrations and help you actually get what you want in the first place, and that's passive income. It's cash flow, so we can all escape this rat race, right? Cool. Passiveincomeaudit.com. That's it for today. I'll see you on the next episode of Turnkey Real Estate Investing, where cash flow is king.
If opening up your financial statement each month is about as exciting as watching paint dry, the Epic Wealth Fund may be the next investment opportunity for you. The Epic Wealth Fund invests in distressed real estate and shares the profits with its shareholders. If you're an accredited investor who has already enjoyed success elsewhere in their business or investing life, and you're seeking a broader exposure to real estate in your portfolio on a passive basis, the Epic Wealth Fund's executive summary is available for your review. Go to epicwealthfund.com to review the fund's executive summary. epicwealthfund.com.
Real estate investments involve a high degree of risk. Residential income and returns may vary and are not guaranteed. Past performance is no indication of future performance. Nothing herein shall be construed as investment, tax, legal, or accounting advice.